sunset on the farm. Best time of the day. And I want to show you guys something pretty cool. We've been working, well, I take that back. We've been riding the Apollo RFN bike. Maybe you guys saw it in the other video. This thing is a blast. I've been loving it. We've got a few charges through it now, a few packs through it, and we're just giving it everything we've got. This is a really fun bike. I've been putting it through its paces. This is the first one, so it's a not a prototype, but it's a sample. So we've been, you know, testing it, making sure everything's good. Now, one of the things that I like to do is I like to ride at dusk and into the night hours. So you can't really do that with one of these bikes because it doesn't have any lights. And that is where my buddy Will at Emx-Shop comes in. He makes a fully functional street legal light kit for these bikes, or not even for these bikes, but for all bikes. It's a universal kit, and we put it on this bike, and I'm going to show you what that entails. If you look just, you know, first glance, you don't really see anything different. Looks pretty much the same. There's no turn signals. There's no extra stuff hanging anywhere. So the first thing we're going to go is the headlight. And as you can see, we've got a great little light bar right here. It mounts right to this accessory rack, which mounts right to the handlebar. Now, you don't need this for every bike. I have it for mine because the gauge is in the way. So we need this little accessory rack, but it mounts really sturdy. And this light is bright, let me tell you. Look at that. Got different modes. Really good. So we'll ride at night. We'll check it out. I went for a little test ride with it, and it was really bright. So the next thing you need is obviously a tail light. So on this bike, we've got this cool little thing. This comes from Emx-Shop, and you can see these LED lights right here. And that's all functional right here off of this switch that's also included in the kit. So you turn on your lights, and now we've got a tail light, really nice. And it's connected to the stock brake, so we also have a brake light. Pretty cool. Up front, we've got these great daytime running lights. As you can see, nice and bright. And at night, this illuminates the entire ground. We'll do a night ride with this. So right now, it's still not dark enough, but you can see these on. And then when you hit the turn signal, they sequence. So you've got a turn signal. And that turn signal carries over to the rear as well. So you see you got a turn signal in the rear. So we've got turn signals. We've got a tail light. We've got DRLs. We got a headlight. And last but not least, we have a horn. So that, all together with everything, makes this entire setup a street legal solution, so to speak. You can get on the road. You're not going to be a ghost rider. You'll be able to kind of blend in. You'll have turn signals, headlight, horn, everything you need to do what you need to do on the road. So just a cool overall kit. So let's wait for the sun to go down and we'll take a look at it in the dark. All right, so it's getting dark, as you can see. So let's go ahead and fire up these lights and see what this looks like. So we'll hit the light switch. Boom. And as you can see, the lights really illuminate the entire like front area, the plastics and the ground right here. So this creates a really nice like lighting effect just with the running lights on. And then in the back, we've got tail light, as you can see. So that looks really nice. And then we'll hit the brakes. So you can see, nice change there, that's very visible. And then turn signals here. That's what the turn signal looks like. And then in the back, we've got nice turning signal there. So that's pretty solid. And then we'll turn on the main light. There we go, that's nice. That's the two outside beams. And then we can turn on the middle beam, which is nice and bright, and then all three beams as well. So we've got plenty of light. That's nice and bright. Very cool. Awesome. So we'll do some night rides. This is really cool though. You can really see the whole shape of the bike, and like I said, it illuminates the ground all around, so it makes this great big halo effect around the bike. I hope that's coming through on the camera. Super cool. Nice and bright. Thumbs up. So go check out Emx-Shop if you want to get yourself one of these street legal lighting kits, and you can add it to almost any bike. It's a kind of a universal kit, but it's really custom tailored to these e-bikes. So you know, mount it wherever you want, get creative with it. For the most part, you're going to see something similar to this on every bike, so you should be able to do something similar. Anyway, we'll go for a ride, see how it looks at night. I like the way this looks though. This is fantastic. All right, now we're back at the shop. We're throwing the bike on the dyno. We're gonna see what this thing does. This is gonna be our baseline power numbers. We'll test it in the rocket mode, obviously, because I want to see what this thing's capable of. They claim 12 kilowatts, so I want to see close to 12 kilowatts. So let's see what this thing is able to put down, and see how it compares to a SurRon, because that's the real question I think everyone has. Does this thing actually put down the power it says it's going to put down? And we're about to find out. So the knobby tires clearly were spinning pretty good. We're gonna tear these tires up trying to dyno it, but let's just see what we were able to capture. And remember, that was spinning, so it's not gonna get the full power to the ground. Let's take a look and see what that actually meant though. Okay, so all right, so we were not able to get any of the power down that I was hoping. I'll make another run sitting on it, see if we can get a little more pressure on that back tire. But that run was 10 horsepower. Still a lot better than a SurRon. So let's try again. This time I'm gonna sit on the back. See what happens. All right, that was way better. That time it hooked a little better. It spun a little bit, you could hear it, but nowhere near as bad. And that gets us about the same. Just more power down low. So it really didn't pick up too much down there. So 10 horsepower, that's not the 12 kilowatts I was hoping for. So I don't know if that's a programming thing or what. I did use the rocket mode, but I'm not too sure that we're getting all the power that it says it's supposed to. I know that this motor and battery and controller is capable of it, but again, you guys have to remember too, this is also a pre-production unit. It's not the actual production unit, so it is possible that this thing is not dialed all the way up. But that's why we're doing this. I'm testing this stuff out. But anyway, let's compare it. Let's 10 horsepower. I'm going to pull up a SurRon and see what that compares to. Okay, so we've got the SurRon file here. Let's open this up. We can see 6.9 horsepower and falling off around 40 miles per hour. Down low, like 6, so about 6.5 almost 7 horsepower until we get to the peak here. Peaks around 37, 38 miles an hour. That's where we're seeing that almost 7 horsepower. So we can call it 6.9. And then let's compare it to here. And you can see we're 10 horsepower. So more power for sure. Falling off somewhere around the same. Actually, this one's falling off a little earlier, and that's because it's speed limited. Again, this is a prototype, so or not prototype, but a pre-production unit. So we are still working bugs out of that. But it is putting down more power. So it's 10 horsepower, about 3 horsepower more, 3.2 horsepower, 3.3 horsepower more than the SurRon from the get-go. So that's promising. We'll see what that really translates to as we get into some more tuning. I do intend to tune this up a little bit. A couple of companies have already reached out to me about building kits for them. I don't want to do that yet though, because I think that this controller has the capabilities of putting out a lot more power. And I think that I'm just going to speak with the manufacturers and just deal with them. This is an Apollo machine all around. So I'm gonna deal with them first, give them a chance to deliver on their promises of 12 kilowatts. And see if we can bump the speed up a little bit too. So either way, pretty cool. That's like a good baseline to start with. I'm really happy with the bike overall. The lighting kit really helped too. Driving around at night, it's really fun to actually drive this thing at night. You can see how the lights, they work really well. Pretty happy about that. And overall, this is going to be a great little bike to ride on the dirt, or maybe even on the street. We can get some supermoto wheels, maybe another set of wheels. We'll do some dual sport tires on them. It'll just be fun. I'm really into this bike. Really cool. Apollo RFN, badass.